Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So this morning, or afternoon, or night, wherever you are, I want to talk about this potentially massive Bitcoin move that's about to hit us. Is it a good move? Is it a move to the upside or a move to a downside? Well, that's what I'm going to share today. And also, of course, look at what's going on in the crypto world today. So thanks for tuning in. As always, smash the likes, subscribe to the channel. 2 streams every day, 11:30 and 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure you hit that subscribe button if you are new and hit that notification bell so you get notified. And you follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram so you get more content and get triple notified so you don't miss out on any of my streams. All right, guys, let's do this. Welcome for everyone that's already in the chat. Very lively crowd today. A lot of antsy people once again. And all right, here we go. So Bitcoin is at 55.3. It's been having this weird range between 56 and about 54, right? And every time it goes down, people at 54, people panic. Every time it goes up, people are looking, looking like it's positive, but what is going on? Why is it stuck in this weird range? Well, for the last 2 days, I've been talking about the whales doing their whalish things, and they're really good at it. They're really, really good at it to drive FUD and mess with your emotions and get you to either sell off your Bitcoins or crypto, which is bad, or make you greedy and use leverage longs and you get liquidated also, which is bad. So both of those are bad. You don't want to do either. Right now is the same as always. You wait for opportunity to buy the dip and dollar cost average, and you simply hold it. That is simply it. That's how you win the crypto game, especially for the long haul. But what am I seeing today? All right, someone showed me this, and I think this is pretty telling in terms of a massive move that's right around the corner. And I'll let you guys decide which way Bitcoin's going to go. First, let's look at this. All exchanges outflow, okay? So this is pretty telling. You go back all the way to March till now, you could see there's a few times where Bitcoin shot up in terms of Bitcoin's outflowing from exchanges, and this is all exchanges, non-derivative exchanges. Actually, this may include derivative exchanges, but you could see right here, back earlier in April, about the 6th, when you had a crazy amount, about 67,000 Bitcoins outflew. That's a lot of Bitcoins. And you could see there was a slight lag. After it outflew, you could see that Bitcoin still went down a little bit. And then it found a bottom, and then boom. And it went from 56 all the way to 64, right? So it formed a new high. So recently, we saw the same thing happen. You have one right here that's 60,000, and then you have another one right afterwards, 34,000 that just came out of the exchanges, right? So just like last time, afterwards, there seems to be a little bit downtrend where we are, right? But kind of like last time, we had a little bit of time where it went down and then boom, right? So this is looking pretty good. If history repeats, this is showing that we're about to have a massive move upwards. But this is not the only thing I want to show you guys. Bank cash flow, appreciate that, and I agree. But here's another one. But this is from Binance specifically. So where's all this outflow coming from? It's not from Coinbase this time. It's actually from Binance. Not only Binance, but also the derivative exchanges. So here's Binance going all the way back to December of 2020. So we're talking about over 4 months. And look at every time there's a massive outflow from Binance, including this, a 53,000 Bitcoin outflow. You could see Bitcoin went from literally 20,000 to like 40,000. That's what happened, right? That was a huge movement. You could see here, here's a 38,000 outflow, right? This was like kind of like in the middle of this correction, but then soon afterwards, Bitcoin went from 45 all the way up to 61. Is this a coincidence? It doesn't look like it. This time, there was a big outflow Over here, about 77,000. And again, Bitcoin went from 55 to 64. And now you could see there is a 94,000 Bitcoin outflow and another 47,000 outflow back to back, right towards the bottom. So what does that look like to you guys? That looks like there's a big move coming, a massive move that's about to come, and it looks like that could come right around the corner. That's what it's looking like, right? So that's Binance. Also, interesting enough, look at the derivative exchanges, and I'm talking about like the Bitfinex and BitMEX and Bybits of the world, right? You could see similar things happen. Like over here, when there was a big outflow from derivative exchanges, meaning that the whales pulled out from these leverage exchanges and they didn't want to play those whalish games anymore. And soon after that, Bitcoin went up in a huge run, right? And recently we saw the same thing. And look at Bitfinex, right? Bitfinex recently had a huge outflow, which shows that some of these whales that are playing with leverage, you know, they're pulling out. Maybe these are the guys that put a lot of down pressure. These are the guys that knew how to liquidate people, right? They had the order books and they knew exactly how to apply like the right pressure. And now it seems like a lot of them is pulling out, right? So what's the end conclusion here? What's the conclusion on all this? Well, I mean, if you look at the data and you look at history, and history tends to rhyme, doesn't always have to repeat, but tends to rhyme. And you look at previous times where there's a massive outflow from the exchanges, usually good things happen right afterwards, right? Maybe there's a delay, but good things do happen afterwards. And same thing with Binance. When you see large outflows from Binance, afterwards, traditionally you see very, very, very bullish moves for Bitcoin. So you have that. And of course, you also have the derivative exchanges. Whenever they have a big outflow, it also means that good things are happening, right? So when you add all these up, what's the conclusion? What's this massive move, right? Well, my bet is the massive move is going to go upwards. And this could be that big leg up we're looking for, right? We haven't seen any big movements since the beginning of March. Beginning of March, we were still relatively low, like, in the 40s. But ever since we broke above to the 50s and 60s, now we're kind of again hovering right around and under 60 now. And we haven't really made a new gigantic leap to maybe 70s or 80s or even 90s. We haven't seen it yet, but maybe it's right around the corner. So I'm looking forward to it. I think this massive move is going to be huge to the upside. But keep in mind, 60% of the time I'm right every time. So keep that in mind. All right. Now, besides all this outflows from the exchanges, I just want to remind you guys that why I think Bitcoin is going to go a lot higher, and why I'm so bullish on it, and why I'm so bullish on crypto overall for the remainder of this year is because of this. I haven't shown you guys this for a while, and this may be new for some of you guys, but Bitcoin Treasury, this site tracks all the latest buys from all the big publicly traded companies and investment companies. And when you look at this list, it's just ever growing. Every single week you see a new company on here, or you see one of these firms add a little bit more Bitcoin to their reserves. And when you have this kind of buying behind the scenes, and these guys, these public whales, I should say, they don't drive things up. Because I always get asked this, like, why if the whales are buying behind the scenes, why doesn't it drive the price up? But yet, these other whales could drive prices down. Because that's intended on purpose like that. When MicroStrategy wants to buy $1 billion worth of Bitcoin, they don't want the price to go up. They're buying it. They're spreading out their buys like 1,000 different ways, and they're doing it on over the counter so that they can purchase as much as they can without having the price go up. The whales that are on exchanges, on the other hand, they're using leverage, and they're doing it on the spot and derivative exchanges to drive things down on purpose to liquidate longs and cause a cascading effect. That's why. If these big guys bought all their Bitcoins on, say, Coinbase, Bitcoin will be at $1 million already. I mean, seriously, if they just bought it all on the spot exchanges, there would be no more liquidity on Coinbase or Binance or any of these guys, and Bitcoin will probably shoot up to $1 million. That's not what they want. They want to accumulate as much as they can while things are low, right? So this is what drives me. I look at this list, and you tally all this up, and it's about 1.4 billion Bitcoins, and according to this, it's about a little bit less than 7%. But honestly, that 7% is a lot higher than 7% because that's taking into account of 21 million Bitcoins, and we're not there yet. We're about only 18 million. And out of the 18 million, there's about 4 to 5 million lost. So really, there's about 14 million in circulation. And if you do that, 1.4 million out of 14 million, that's like 10%. So 10% already are held by some of the strongest hands out there. And let's not forget we have Satoshi that's not moving his. We have a lot of early people, early miners, early investors, guys like Max Kaiser. They're not touching it. So if you look at how much Bitcoin is actually in circulation, it's very, 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 very tiny. So this is why I'm so bullish on Bitcoin, why I think it's go higher, and why you guys should follow me in my journey, and why you should not be afraid of FUD, and why you should not pay attention to a lot of these other guys that are showing all these patterns here and there and all these things, right? That show, oh, maybe a top is here or whatever. I look at this. I look at that bigger pictures. Are these guys all of a sudden, is MicroStrategy and Michael Saylor go say, okay, tomorrow I'm going to sell my $5 billion worth of Bitcoin? No, he's not going to do that. These guys are buying for the long haul, right? And they're doing it not necessarily because they want to go to the moon like most of us, but they're doing it as a hedge against inflation, which they know is going to come, maybe in the near future, but maybe not. Maybe in 3 years, maybe 5 years, but it will come. And that's why they're hoarding up on Bitcoin. All right, so I went off on a tangent there, but I just want to share with you guys because it's very important. Very important for people to hear why I'm so bullish on Bitcoin, why these guys could buy and price doesn't go up. It's because they don't want it to. As much as they like it, they don't want to have less Bitcoins. They want to buy as much as they can with their money. So that's why. Paul's asking about futures expiration next week. Let's see. Let's see. This week is still young. Let's see where this week ends up, and then we'll make a determination this coming weekend. All right. What else is there besides Bitcoin? Overall market is up a little bit, above 2 trillion. So you got a lot of movers today, including Binance. Binance is on a freaking tear today, up 14%, above $83 billion. I've always told you guys, never sleep on BNB. A lot of you guys may be in the same situation as me where you have some extra cash and you're like, okay, where should I put it, right? Should I put it more in Bitcoin or should I be diversified? And if you're thinking about diversification, there's so many good altcoins, right? But sometimes you're just like, I have no idea. I have so many, or I have the right perfect allocation. And for me, whenever I get confused, I'm like, okay, I have enough Bitcoin. So what else can I put that's relatively stable, that's like a big cap, and that's like a blue chip? That's something that I'm just really not worried about dumping at any time soon. And that's Binance Coin. I mean, that's how strong they are. And I honestly think they will flip Ethereum by the end of this year. I think it'll come sooner than people expect. So we'll see. But yeah, they always, they just slowly move up and no one pays attention to them. But I'll go through the rest of the list in a little bit. Dogecoin came down a little bit, but still, it's still at 34 cents. So I don't know why anyone would be complaining about Dogecoin. But today, across the board, VeChain and others are doing pretty darn good too. All right. Speaking of Binance, this is a pretty big news. Let's get to the news real quick, and I'll do Q&A. But Binance.us, the U.S. arm of Binance, hires former bank regulator Brian Brooks as CEO, and they're kicking out whoever the current CEO is. Now, Brian Brooks, he was a former Coinbase executive, so obviously he had time when Coinbase kind of ran things, kind of knows the ins and outs, right? And he was the Office of Comptroller of Currency under President Trump, right? So now he's looking for a new job and he's settled. So this adds a lot of, cachet or legitimacy to Binance.us, right? And it could be that Binance is preparing for something similar to Coinbase. They may be looking at doing an IPO of just Binance.us, right? So this could be coming. So for those of you guys that can't get on Binance, regular Binance.com, I'm on Binance.us. I've used them many times. I think they have good stuff on there. You can buy like Cardano, VeChain, and several other promising altcoins on there. So take a look if you haven't yet. But yeah, this is a pretty big move. Who else just hired someone big? Well, not hired, but had someone big join. And that's Blockfi, my newest sponsor, Blockfi. This is also pretty big. So I think a lot of you guys know who Giancarlo was. He was known as like the crypto dad, as Hester Pierce's crypto mom. He's like Hester, crypto dad. And that's because he was very, very for Bitcoin and crypto innovations back in 2017 when he held, the top spot as CFTC, right? So now he's joining the board of directors of Blockfi, which again, kind of like Binance.us, it's adding a lot of cachet and legitimacy. And according to this article, it could be because Blockfi is looking to go public too, seeing how Coinbase had a very warm welcome and this year is still very, very bullish for Bitcoin and crypto. Why would you not take advantage? Remember, Blockfi, unlike Celsius and Nexo, does not have their own token. They don't have something like a token that represents them or their shares or company, right? So they don't have that. They've been waiting. So I think the ultimate plan is to do IPO and release shares too. So this makes a whole lot of sense. And since they are my sponsor, and since I want you guys to utilize them, we'll show you this. This is their current rate that I showed you guys yesterday. But BTC, if you're a BTC whale, you're not gonna get a lot of interest. If you have 20 plus BTC, it's only 0.5 interest. But if you're a Link whale, that's pretty good, 5.5% interest for just holding it in there. Ethereum up to 100 ETH is 5.25. That's pretty good. Now, here's the interesting thing. Litecoin at 6.5%. I've always said there's no use case for Litecoin. Well, here's one. You could deposit and earn 6.5% APY. And lastly, I noticed they were advertising up to 8.6% APY, but they're actually paying more than that on USDT at 9.3%, which is actually pretty high. So so if you guys have a whole bunch of crypto, you don't know what to do with it, you want to earn some extra income, well, check out Blockfi. And my link is in the description below. And you get a bonus if you deposit. Yes. Okay, I'm done with Blockfi. All right, so here's an article about Dogecoin, because some people still argue that Dogecoin has no use. Although the Dallas Mavericks accept them, there's restaurants that's starting to accept Dogecoin. And now Newegg, which is a big electronic retailer, I don't know how big they are. Back in the day, I remember everyone talking about Newegg nonstop. Like, this is the place you go to buy your electronic. Nowadays, it's just like Amazon for everything. But now, there goes Dogecoin. You know what's funny? Because Newegg, they accepted Bitcoin back in the day. I'm talking about like 2014, 2015. They accepted it. Then they ended it. They sold off everything. Had they held on to all the Bitcoin they had, they would be, they would probably have billions of Bitcoin on hand. But they decided not to do that. So this time around, we'll see. If they get smarter, maybe they hold on some Dogecoin. Maybe Dogecoin will go to the moon in the future. Who knows? But this is another use case for Dogecoin. Well, it's the same use case, but it just shows you that you can use it as a currency. So why not? Why not, right? Did I miss any super chats here? DexKit. Okay. So NFT marketplace exchange aggregator. I'll look at it during Q&A. Just remind me, DexKit. Supply shock for ADA. I didn't hear about that. They're not releasing any more ADA. I don't know where that is coming from. You think BNB will flip ETH? Yes, I do. All right. So besides Dogecoin, and today's 420 day, so something explosive is supposed to happen with Dogecoin. It didn't. So I don't know. Just could be a dud. PayPal's Venmo launches crypto trading for 70 million users. This is also very bullish. We know PayPal already. PayPal themselves have like 300 million plus users, and most of them are eligible to buy crypto now. But PayPal's other arm, Venmo, Now launched it too for 70 million users. So I mean, this is very very positive overall, right? So these days, like in 2020, if you want to buy crypto, there's so many places to buy. All these apps allow you to buy, and some of the biggest ones like PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, Robinhood, right? They all allow you to buy. In addition to all the exchanges that exist, right? And in addition to even like Coinstar, you know, you have spare change and you could put it into the machine and buy Bitcoin with it, along with all the other Bitcoin ATMs and stuff like that. So it's definitely very different now than even 2017, right? All right, a few last things. I'll get to Q&A. I know it's running long today, but one of the projects I support, Sandbox, and under Animoca Brands, they're like a virtual world. They just got added on Gemini all of a sudden. I just got an email saying they got added. Also good for them. And Gemini is also an exchange I support. If you're looking for a fiat onboarding exchange, meaning you want to buy crypto with fiat, look at Gemini. I prefer them over Coinbase because I think they're just a little bit better, and the customer service is a little bit better. So there you go. And then lastly, I do have a new channel sponsor for today, and that's Morpheus Labs, or Morpheus Network, I should say. And they're all about supply chain. I remember Morpheus. I remember back in 2017 when I was researching all these supply chain projects, such as VeChain and also Morpheus and also Walton Chain. There was a lot, right? But it seems like Morpheus, they've been doing a lot over the years, just kind of executing, and they're a little bit different because VeChain, you know, they're kind of all over the place. They have some big partnerships. But what I like about Morpheus is they're really concentrating on their platform. What these supply chain manufacturers and suppliers and anyone in between, what they can actually use. So Morpheus Network not only is in a supply chain, but they're all about their SaaS middleware platform. And this platform integrates with legacy systems and, of course, new systems that relate to blockchain and IoT devices, RFID, and there's just so much, right? And with this platform, you could literally track everything. You can invoice people. You could make payments. There's just so much that you could do with this platform, which, of course, saves companies money and time and gives them transparency so you could see everything and track everything without worry that data is just going to disappear or change, right? That's the whole point of a blockchain. So that is what Morpheus Network is all about. And I remember this, they have a huge advisor, and that is Roger Cook. A lot of you guys know of DHL, which is still big in Europe. They were big in the US, but the previous CEO of Roger Cook is actually an advisor and mentor for Morpheus Network. So obviously, this guy knows a thing or two about supply chain and world business, right? So that's very positive. And Morpheus Network is upgrading. They're calling their new path, this new platform called Morpheus Network Black. And with Morpheus Network Black, they do introduce a few new things. Things that they've been working on for a long time, such as document handling system, digital ID, fraud prevention protocol, and big data analytics. These are all things that businesses are looking for, right? So they've been working very hard at this, and it's going to be available soon. So that's Morpheus Network in a nutshell. So if you want to check them out, make sure you do so. I'll have their URL in the description of this video. And I'll be covering a lot more news about Morpheus Network going forward. All right, that is pretty much it. Let's do some Q&A. Man, that's a long stream. I said a lot there. There's a lot. N-Town is asking about all these Doge copies, right? There's a lot that's out there. And some of them are pumping, but be careful. Some of them could also dump immediately. So the one and true only is Doge. But there are a lot of copies for there. Thoughts on TrustSwap's launchpad for new projects and SwapCoin? I mean, TrustSwap is interesting because they're not only a swap play, but they do have like this ecosystem, and they have a launchpad which seems to be very popular these days. There's a lot of projects that's doing their IDOs on these launch pads, right? And I think it's good. I mean, the idea is not new. It's just that it's very popular right now. Obviously, in altcoin season, people are very, very they like to look at new projects, right? They want to make that 1000x. So we'll see. We'll see. But the concept is good. Do you have a way to block certain words? I can't. I can't in the live chat. It doesn't work that way. But I get the feeling. I get the feeling. Thoughts on Jewel Swap? Just this doesn't look right. Yeah, they pumped up and they're coming down. So they're probably some kind of swap play on Binance Smart Chain. Yeah, so it's like a swap project. You know, I don't know what to think of them. What else is there? I've been fortunate to have ridden BTC since $700. Well, congratulations. My eyes are set on XLM as it moves to $1. Any tips? Well, if you've been holding BTC since 700, you probably don't need to worry about XM. But honestly, I don't know what XM is doing these days. You know, they're doing a lot of giveaways. You know, they were working with the Ukrainian government to create a new digital currency, but doesn't mean that it's gonna be Binance Dollar. I mean, this relationship with IBM and WorldWire, that seems to have dissipated. So I don't know what their future plans are. Can it go to $1? Sure, they're gonna ride the wave along with everyone else, right? But at this point, I just think there's better buys. I think there's better buys. Revo, Miguel, appreciate it. Revo Moon. Revo Mon. I'm glad I didn't say Revo Moon. Yeah, they're too early. They just came out. They just got listed. So yeah, I'm probably not gonna look at that. Do you see? How do you see that in a month still 80K with the month liquidation, month-end liquidation? Here's the thing: not every futures expiration Bitcoin goes down. There's been plenty in the past where with the Bitcoin futures expiration, it goes up. So it's not guaranteed, although I know the last 3 months it has been like that, and that's because the last 3 months Bitcoin has been going up quite a bit. With the exception of this month Bitcoin really hasn't moved. So there could be a change. There could be a change. That's why I say let's see what happens going for the rest of this week and going up to Sunday. B Pro is down from its highs, pump and dump. Well, I think it was pumped up a lot, but it's not a pump and dump. Don't confuse good projects with bad pump and dump projects. It's just that they got pumped up quite a bit. Now people are losing interest in them, but I still like the project a lot. Bank cash flow. Yeah, I'm not going to look at all these. I mean, I appreciate a super chat, but, you know, all these ones that are copies and copies and copies of just silly projects with a deflationary nature and all this stuff, and they, you know, people are buying into them. So I'm not gonna look at Risk Moon. What would you do if you had a moon bag of 30,000 ADA, sell, hold, or convert? I can't tell you that. You had to decide that for yourself. Thanks for getting me into VET, keeping me from panic selling. I appreciate that. You know, hopefully you made good money with it. VeChain has been a project I've supported for a long time, and they're about to crack number 10 soon. I think it's going to happen soon. What's the next one? NKN for the future. I got stuck at $1. I'm neutral on NKN. I think they're what they're trying to do is a little bit too encompassing. Although maybe they could do it, but basically through their nodes, they're trying to build a new decentralized internet. Projects have tried before, but they're also trying to replace TCP/IP. So I don't know if that's going to work or not. Honestly, I wish them the best, but I think it's too encompassing. But I've been wrong many times before. Raven X, over 200,000 in charity in 6 days. 20 million donation straight to Binance charity. Top trending. Live NA, still early. Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, if they're proving themselves to actually be, fundraising for charity, great. But they pumped up quite a bit. They're probably way too new. Yeah. More than 480 BNB already donated to charity. Okay, great. For me, I just don't like charity because I think they're hidden as a good cause, but really they're either not interesting or I think they're money grabs. So we'll see. We'll see if Raven X can continue their ways. SafePal, it's okay. It's just like a hardware wallet, a fancy hardware wallet. I have not used them before, but they look pretty good. Kingers, thank you. Man, almost 8,000 people watching. You guys need to smash the likes and subscribe if you are new. Make sure you check out all my other videos too. Like last night, I had a really good video. I had a really good idea to look at what the big whales are buying. And that video started really good, and then it got triggered by YouTube. So it stopped being searchable. So that's why you guys need to turn on the notifications so that you don't miss out at any of those videos. And you should watch that video after this one because it's pretty good. Elron is a promising chain. I like them a lot. Big names like PayPal entering space, does it take away from exchanges like Voyager? It does. It does. I mean, honestly, yeah. Because if someone's coming into the space, they're like, I have PayPal ready. I could buy. Why do I need to download VGX, right? So the only thing that's going to really help VGX and others is that they have more tokens available, unlike PayPal. PayPal is just very limited. But once people learn about some of these other altcoins, then they're like, okay, how am I going to buy them, right? So then they start looking at Voyager and then, Gemini, Coinbase, Binance, all these guys. I looked at Oasis yesterday. They look pretty interesting. I said I was going to do a deep dive. I haven't yet. Yeah, they look pretty good. They look pretty good. What else is there? JewelSwap has 3 most users as AMM platform after Pancake Uniswap. It has mirrored than 1inch. I have a hard time believing that it is the third widely most used AMM. I'm pretty sure SushiSwap is after those two. So I don't know if I believe that claim or not. Or that claim. Conviche is 60 cents by 2022. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. It gets 60 cents by the end of the year. I think it's going to hit a lot higher than 60 cents by the end of the year. So by 2022, yeah, it definitely. I'm sorry, Crypto Johnny. I forgot about DexKit. You didn't have to resend it, but very, very, very small. Very small indeed. They're on Uniswap. All-in-one DeFi protocol with swap aggregator, exchange, and others. Okay. And change the world, decentralized portfolio management. Swap aggregator. NFT marketplace. Okay. So it sounds good in theory, but obviously this project is very, very, very small. So I don't know if you're part of the team, which is why you're so adamant about me looking at it. But it's very small, so be careful. But it does look okay, and there's a lot of projects that's similar. But yeah. Mar Brandt, I appreciate it, and I agree. I think there's too many people that's talking about SafeMoon. Before, I would just ban everyone that's talking about it. But now I think there's legitimately a lot of people that are just asking about it because they're hearing it so much. So I don't want to just ban everyone. But I would stay far, far away from SafeMoon. Lambda 2. Is that a project? Why is Polygon and Matic not pumping so much with so much going on? Well, right now, BTC is still kind of weak. So Polygon, Matic, they don't have that. They don't have the legs like some of these other guys, right? So, but overall, I think they're a good project. They have a lot going for them. Unify protocol. All right, I'm going to end this stream pretty soon. So last few questions here. Uniting blockchain through DeFi, ups yield farming, and ever increasing renaming value makes it ideal. Like, okay. Every trade increases the value up. It's called up for a reason. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that idea at all. Anything that promises you something like that means that it's not sustainable. So I don't like it. I really love RSS. Big names involved. Was that reserve rights? Yeah, they kind of like, they're very similar to Benchmark. Benchmark protocol, which is my sponsor too. Benchmark is they have an algorithmic token that's pegged to the SDR, which is like $1.40, which is different. RSR is, they have one that's pegged to all these stable coins, which I don't know, to me it's just like, what's the point? You know, unless you're trying to prevent, you think that one stable coin's collapse versus another. So I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know why you need a stable coin that's pegged to like 6 other stable coins that's all pegged to the USD. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. That's it. HVN Hive Terminal Token. Yeah, they're not doing too good. They're back 2018. Take the highway to fresh capital. Receive payment immediately. Okay, business quick and easy to, okay. Sell your invoices. Oh, this is like another project that used to do that, where you couldn't pay for invoices, so you sell it. I would not trust this company to do that, though. They're just way too small. So, all right, that's pretty good. That's it, guys. Good turnout, 8,100. I hate to end the stream with so many people. But, to conclude, Bitcoin's coming up a little bit. I have looked at Glitch. I actually do like Glitch a lot. They're still relatively small, but they're in the DeFi space, a protocol, fast protocol. I actually like them a lot. Hydra, I didn't like so much, or maybe because I didn't really get them. It does feel a little PMD-ish to me. All right. So to conclude, that's it. No more questions. Bitcoin is coming up, right? But it's still stuck in this weird channel between 56 and 53. But I think if you look at previous history and you look at these times when you have large outflows from all exchanges, from Binance, and from derivative exchanges, what followed is pretty good upward movement. So I think this massive movement that I'm talking about, I think it's going to be upwards. But maybe not, right? History doesn't always repeat. It tends to rhyme, but sometimes it doesn't even rhyme. But looking at history, that's what it's pointing to, right? But regardless, I made a big rant about the big guys buying behind the scenes and so forth. This is what I really pay attention to. That's why these days I'm accumulating, I'm holding, and I'm waiting for more life-changing wealth. And I want you guys to follow me on this journey. All right, guys, that is it. Thanks for tuning in. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and stay tuned tonight for my stream, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right? Have a good one.